biggest takeaways of this weekend, Christine, across all the great games, everything that happened, the goals, the not so money goals. What's your biggest takeaway?
The teams that I expected to come out hammering, I know we're only in week 3. No, like I don't want to say I'm wrong yet, but I feel like North Carolina underwhelming, Gotham really underwhelming. I expected these teams to be in like my top 5 from jump, fresh out the gate, and that's not what we're seeing. Houston Dash, however, much higher than I anticipated. Seattle Rain, we're getting a taste of the OG Rain, where it's we're a Harvey, let's go. Those are kind of my just arm sweeping catch all for this weekend.
I like that. I'll say mine is still I'm riding with these 3 categories. Just looking at the results, I know Louisville got the win, but wow. I mean, we can talk
Tough.
about that game because that was just tough. I mean, I've been playing and there's crazy rain delays and that throws off your entire routine going into a match. I mean, think about it. The time that you wake up, you go on your walk, you do your stretching. Some people go sit in the sauna, some people have rituals of how they go get treatment really early before. So then you're sitting at the stadium for so long. Like Riley drinks 2 energy drinks. Imagine she's probably drinking one on the bus if she was with Louisville. And then
She's
you
on the
get there and
moon.
yeah, but your energy is up and you have to sit for 2 hours, and that up and down is so difficult to then not being sure when you're gonna go into a match and then boom, "'Kay, go get warmed up and have your energy ready." And I think we saw the repercussion of that with the players on the pitch. It was just I mean, that and also the wind was windy city, my god. The ponytails, the afro would have been slicked back like this, like, the wind was crazy, the ball couldn't go anywhere, and to be honest, that didn't suit how both teams wanted to play. The long balls over the top were getting caught in the air or they were going too far. It was a game that asked for short, tight passing, really precise, somebody to take command of the midfield. And we didn't really see that. Shout out to Emma Sears for the goal, but those are those are the teams and like the Portland, the Courage, where I still don't know what they're trying to do. Who's going to score for you? Utah Royals, even. What was your game plan going to the Kansas City match? I want to know your guys' thought on that match in particular because I had higher hopes for Utah against Kansas City. I thought they would change a little bit more than they did.
They didn't change much from Jimmy Coonrod and
No.
this lineup that Utah had. It's almost as if they were expecting to just play the same game that they had been throughout this year. And I mean, when you're going up against any opposition, you have to scout them. So many teams say, hey, we just rely on ourselves and we're going to do what we can. You can't do that against Shawinga, Dabinia, DiBernardo, Cooper. Cooper had a hell of a game. And
Mhm.
plus, Pia Zenerato coming in off the bench. You have to be more compact between the lines. And Utah didn't look like that. I mean, as good as Kansas City is, this game, I'm actually surprised that there weren't more goals to come from this one, but 3 all in the first half. Did anything change in the second half for Utah to solidify themselves a little bit more defensively, or was it more of a downward offensive trend for KCD?
I mean, they dropped off a little bit more. This is where I was confused. I got to talk to Jimmy for the coverage for
Oh, yeah.
a different network. Yeah. And he was saying, yeah, you have to really be careful. You have to block certain passes. You have to deny access to Shawinga. And, Kansas City, they're known for how quickly they regain the ball. Well, every single goal they scored was from a regain that Utah gave up in their defensive third or middle third. Every single goal, every really, really high chance was from Utah's own mistakes. And it was a little perplexing to me trying to build out in that 3 and be ultra aggressive going forward when they have too many people that can hurt you. Whereas it's a time to sit back, adjust, and just defend and pick those right moments to actually go forward and get set pieces. They have set piece takers. I mean, Cupo, what did you think? I was just perplexed on not the personnel that they put out, but really the style that they came out with.
Yeah, I think I expected a little bit more of an adjustment to Kansas City all in. And I get that some coaches just don't like to deviate. They're like, this is the plan, and we don't change from the plan. But I feel like with the number of potential goal scorers for Kansas City, at that point, yeah, maybe I would play a little afraid. And maybe that's my Achilles heel. But I would be like, defense, defense, defense. Like, get everybody back. You need to be dropping and dipping. And it just wasn't what I was seeing. I I don't know what Utah are going to look like the rest of the season. Obviously, it's only week 3, but I feel like now that they've had a full preseason and they know who they are, who they should be, I expect them to be a little bit smarter about how they play.
Mm.
I want to talk a little bit about North Carolina, Portland. This ended in a 0-0 draw. I know Darian's like, why do we have to talk about it?
No, let's get into it. I
I think
feel
we
bad
have
for
to
these
talk
teams.
about it. We have to
We
talk
do.
about it. These are two powerhouse teams that for so long in the NWSL have been synonymous with winning, Portland and North Carolina. And although North Carolina, Portland has dealt with so many injuries, maternity leave with Sophia Wilson being the biggest one, they're still trying to find their groove. For North Carolina, though, this is the team and the group that Sean Nahas has built and put together. Now, they were dealing with illnesses that ran through the team and the coaching staff this week, so maybe not their A game, but to me, it feels like they're relying on Jaden Shaw as the 9 to be a goal scorer to me, she's not the most successful in that position. She needs players around her. She needs to be creative. She needs to have the space to do that. And it feels like it's just not enough for North Carolina right now.
Yeah, watching that match, Lisa, I agree. And I found she was like popping into the 10 a little bit more. Sanchez was up on the wing on the right. And I feel like we didn't get the best out of Ashley Sanchez. I mean, I think she needs to be in the middle dictating everything. Yes, she's brilliant 1v1. You can put her anywhere and she'll ball out. But it didn't help that she was so isolated when she's a player that likes to combine. She's really cheeky. How she comes inside, how she goes outside, starting from the middle and then making those runs as opposed to being isolated. We know Sean, we've had him on the show, friend of the show. Sean, we love you. We're probably all going to get texts after this because we're talking about them and not the most positive way, but they need to figure it out. They need a goal scorer, and same for Portland. I saw what North Carolina were trying to do, those deep crosses from Williams, and they were unlucky. I mean, Bedford hit the crossbar. She hit the post. Jaden Shaw had a chance. She got her penalty, got saved. There were opportunities. I feel like maybe they need to get one and hopefully it'll give them the confidence to keep getting more. But Portland on the other side, I mean, champagne problems in the midfield. Am I right, guys?
Yeah. I mean, I love me a good midfield, but I mean, they don't have a really solid top line. So like, I guess if you're just going to play like the midfield is everybody, it's a strategy. They managed to get shots off, not necessarily on target, but I mean, as is how the game is played.
19 shots for Portland, just 2 of them on target. It doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter about the shots.
No.
When you mentioned the midfield, D, with Olivia Moultrie, I said this at the start of the year. I need her to level up this year, especially without so many big pieces attacking wise at Portland. I need Olivia Moultrie to be a little bit more of a bruiser in the midfield, to win those tackles, to set up her teammates. I know she's young, but she's been in this league for years, and she needs to evolve her game in order to help Portland out. I think if Olivia Moultrie just levels up her game a couple notches, right? Just a few notches, that will take some of the pressure off Turner, off Castellanos, off Sugita in the midfield, and allow them to do what they need to do. Hina Sugita had a fantastic game for Portland in the midfield.
She's poetry in motion. I love the way she plays. But Lisa, I actually really disagree because Moultrie, he has her playing a wing position. Like, she's not a winger. Olivia Moultrie is Portland's most dangerous goal scorer in the 2025 season. That's bizarre. The Portland Thorns, that is no knock to Olivia Moultrie. She's an incredibly talented player. She deserves to be in the middle of the pitch. And to me, watching Dana Castellanos, you need more from her. Her work rate to me is not great off of the ball. I think she had really poor giveaways.
More from Castellanos. We
never have
around different teams, and she hasn't been an impact player. I'm not expecting her to be. Meanwhile, Olivia Moultrie, I'm expecting her to be an impact player, to be a national team level consistently day in and day out. We changed the whole rules of the league to get her to play. Ball out, Olivia.
I just think that I don't know if she's in the position to ball right now.
Yeah, I don't know. But I am in the camp of Dana Castellanos came in with high expectations, and she has yet to meet a single one for me.
She struggled to perform in the NWSL and adjust. And now it's even a harder process to do that at Portland. Any other takeaways of this weekend that we want to talk about?
No, I mean, Bay, sorry. It looked like Bay of last year a bit. Really, to me, the big glaring ones, I think Bay will get it back. They go on this wave. We know this from last year where it's kind of up and down. We need them to put away goals. You have to set the tempo. You can't let a team just come at you like the Spirit. But really, that's it for me. To me, the Portland, North Carolina game, I was disappointed. These are the two most winningest teams of recent times. These are championship level teams, Shield winners. We need more. You need goal scorers. Yeah.
You don't want to talk about Houston Gotham 0-0 draw on Friday? That was rough, guys. That was a rough game.
What did you think?
I was falling asleep watching this game. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
it was really, really tough. No one really had a rhythm. I think that it was pretty disjointed at times. I was disappointed in Houston because I have high expectations for them. Gotham as well, right? To me, heading into the weekend, this was one of the games to watch. How are there going to be different tactics? What are these coaching staffs going to do to outplay the other team, get players in good position? And it really fell flat across the board. We got to see Maggie Graham, the rookie who came in off the bench twice for Houston and scored. She got the start, but it was flat from both of these sides.
Yeah, it really was. I think we'll see eventually, like Howell and Shapansky will I feel like they haven't come together yet for Gotham. Like everybody's kind of just figuring things out, which totally makes sense at this juncture in the season. But I feel like Lily Real on the other side has a lot of quality, and I feel like she stands out even with her poor little OG. But I really do. I think that she shows a lot more consistency of the rookies where we haven't seen. And so I have a little bit more faith in her moving forward. And I saw that again this game.
It's funny. I have high expectations for Gotham. Coach Juan Carlos Amorós has been there. He's won a championship with the team. He's recruited all of these players. He won a championship with a ton of new players that he made into U.S. Women's National Team caliber. Not made them into. They already had that quality, but taught them qualities within the game where they got to that level. They played a style that works. We're not seeing it. To me, it's disappointing for Gotham. I mean, you have all of these big name players. You let a lot of them go for whatever reasons, but you still have a lot of quality on the field, and it should be better. You should be winning this game to me if you're Gotham. Houston have an excuse of being a very new team and a new coach.
I feel like this goes back to like Juan Carlos Amorós last season when I had talked to him asking like, hey, nobody's scoring goals. It doesn't seem like things are coming together. And he kind of just said, they're playing how I've asked them to play and the goals will come. And I have a hard time not believing him because we saw it come into shape eventually where the goals did come. But how often do you get to actually replicate that with different players, personnel, season over season? I don't know.
Tierna Davidson, center back for Gotham. Once she went down at the end of the first half. So taken off the pitch, really sending thoughts and prayers to Tierna Davidson, hoping that she's okay and strength to her during this time. No update as of yet. Of course, we always keep you guys updated on that, but sending love to Tierna Davidson after that game. There was a penalty for Barbara Banda. Darian, you got thoughts on it?
I'm reading the chat. People are hopping off about the penalty. That people don't think it should have been called. I really disagree. I think, yeah, sure, it was a soft penalty. I agree with that. Barbara Banda is a smart player. Ashley Sanchez was also a soft penalty. But as soon as you feel contact where there's nothing on the ball, you see them coming, you slow your run down a little bit, and they clip you. You can go down. We have VAR. The referee's got to call it. You get your foot stepped on now. The referee calls it immediately. The game has just changed from that. And I will say for San Diego, it was unfair of them to have to fly to Orlando to play at 12 in 85-degree weather, super humid, against a team that trains in that day in, day out. And they had a really good attitude about it. We saw players cramping. People had to come off. They managed it well. But the Cascarino foul on Banda, I think it's due to tired legs. And then also them jumping the gun on the penalty that had to be retaken that Marta ends up scoring is, again, that fatigue that just happens with that long travel and the heat. And also the game is ridiculously at noon in Florida.
Yeah. A lot of kind of interesting penalty calls. There was one tonight in Angel City, Seattle. Seattle, it was Serna Gorsevic who went down in the box against Giselle Thompson. G finishes. That was the lone goal for Seattle. Was it a penalty, Christine?
On both pairs of my glasses. I did not see a pen.
Nope.
I am being so dead ass right now.
Thompson.
Yes, I was like, wait, hold up. I mean, way to parlay that if so, but like legitimately, I don't see the foul that caused a pen. I get it, but I don't know.
Darian?
Lisa, what did you think?
I didn't think it was a penalty. So we a little BTS here for everyone that watched the game and now you're on A3. So we lost connection with the VAR booth. So we couldn't see their cameras and we couldn't hear what they were saying. And usually the broadcast gets to see that and hear that, what they're talking about, and we get insight into that. We didn't get that. I don't know what VAR looked at because they had to check it. Serna Gorsevic steps on Thompson's foot and then falls down. It's a brilliant play. You can see how Anna Maria Serna Gorsevic is a veteran in that moment, but I don't understand. I'm very intrigued to see what Pro says about that. We do meetings, the broadcasters do meetings with Pro, and they go over different calls and different things. A lot of them are actually out there on YouTube, so you can go watch them. But I'm very interested to see what they say about that call because it was a tough one.
I'll have to go back and watch. I'm not going to lie, guys. I was commuting home, so I missed part of it.
Right. Sorry.
Teleport faster, Darian. God.
Sorry, guys. I'm a sleep driver. I'm a grandma, but I made it. I did miss the pen.
No, you shouldn't be driving and watching games. Don't worry.
Yeah, you should be listening like we all do in weird ways.